to ICX Sales Academy workshop number 2, Product Masters right here. And today I have a couple of guests who are real product masters. Please welcome Gunter here on the left side. We also have Olga, LCP of Vienna Vocal, and we have Teddy, LCVP ICX for Vienna Teo. So the topic for today is quite, I would say, important one, as we are going to be talking about what are the products we are working with and why is it so crucial and essential for us to know every little aspect and detail about them. And as always with you is me, your MCVP ICX Karina. So the topics we will cover today in some form are pretty much product knowledge and why is it so crucial, but also how to make product knowledge actionable. So what comes after us knowing every little aspect of our products, how we can use it to boost our sales process, and how we can use it to build up our customer relations. And the first thing that we will actually going to do, and I will ask everyone watching to put the video on stop and spend at least 5-6 minutes, as much as you need, to open this value propositions booklet, which contains information about value propositions of every product we do, so of IGD, IGT, and IGB, and we are talking about ICX products today. I want you to read through this booklet and then we will have a little discussion going on here. Cool, welcome back guys, I hope you read through the booklet. And now before we move further with the explanation, firstly let's actually make clear what the value proposition is. If to put it in a simple words, a value proposition is something that you promise to your customers as the way or the thing you will deliver with your product. Let's say for us in our products, value proposition are something that we offer through our exchanges. And they actually have very specific points we offer, and for that I will ask guys right here to describe them based on each of our products. And we'll start with Olga telling us about Global Volunteer.
So if it concerns Global Volunteer, first I would like to start with actually young people who are coming to Austria to experience Global Volunteer as a project. So first thing that they get is actually the cross-cultural experience in another country that actually helps them to develop themselves based also on the personal goals that they set. And they can also choose diverse projects because even in Austria we run different kind of opportunities that they can have even in one peak. If we are talking about actually our stakeholders that we're working in Austria with, basically the main thing is that they're actually getting an intern who can bring the global perspective into their organization. And when they get that intern, it's actually for them quite easy because we have, as Isaac, access to like a lot of different volunteers, so they can really pick really easily, right? And also Isaac is supporting that volunteer in all the logistical things from the beginning till the end of the project, so it's very easy for example, NGO farm. As well as actually it's quite important for most of our stakeholders that projects are actually contributing to something, and Global Volunteer is perfect for that because we are actually designing our projects for impact based on the Sustainable Development Goals.
Nice, and that was Global Volunteer. And before we move on to other product recommendation from my side is to really try to memorize each of the points of value proposition, because sometimes when you blank out during the call, let's say, when you don't know what to say or how to answer certain questions or which selling point to use, value proposition is something that comes in place and helps you exactly to sell a product. So let's say Olga was mentioning that we take care of logistics, and that is why it's simple for our stakeholders in IGD to source with us, because we take care of all those details, and through our global network we help them to find right people. Exactly knowing those points of value proposition, you make your life easier because it helps you to sell it in the better way and in the correct way actually. And with this we are moving on to Gunter, who will tell you about Global Entrepreneur.
Thank you very much. So for Global Entrepreneur, First, for the youth side, it gives you the opportunity to develop personal and professional skills by interning in a startup abroad, which more specifically means you gather experience in the entrepreneurial world, you build and grow your own network, you have a cross-cultural experience, and in the end, it all leads to developing yourself. Now the other side, for the partners, so the incoming side, which we run more in Austria, it is fueling the startup with young talent from all around the world, which we do by giving them the opportunity to access the international ISEC network, which makes hiring very easy, impacting their startup culture in a very positive way by evolving the culture to a more international focus, and also getting full support from ISEC from everything for accommodation, visa, insurance, and everything else.
Yeah, perfect. And with this we will move on right away to global talent as well.
Yes, the value propositions of global talent. First of all, for young people, they get to experience a new country and a new culture. Furthermore, they can choose a variety of different fields to work on, for example, sales, marketing, business administration, IT, engineering, and they can gain professional experience from this internship, and at the same time, they get to develop their own skills. On the other side, when we talk about partners, first of all, they can hire global talent with ease, almost as easily as they would hire locally. That is because ISEC helps them with visa, the logistics, and all necessary preparations and documents that are needed. Furthermore, by hiring globally, they get to gain a more global mindset, a more diverse workplace, which would also help them improve their workplace and make it more better, so to say, and give it a boost.
Great, thanks a lot, Teddy. And last point regarding quality propositions. This is your first step to become a product master, right? So knowing exactly which value our products bring to multiple stakeholders, both to young people and both to startups, companies, farms or schools, you start to understand the products properly, and you are able to sell them in the better way. If you remember, I was also always mentioning during national conference and in the first workshop as well that the first number one in the sales process is know your product 110%. And exactly with this value propositions booklet come in hands, so you can even try to go through it every so often, let's say every week or every 2 weeks, to make sure that you have this knowledge fresh in mind, you repeat it from time to time, and you use it during your sales pitch. bit.ly value propositions booklet. Good. With this, we will move on to other little specifics of our products. If you can see here, we have Global Volunteer, Global Entrepreneur, and this beautiful site is actually Global Talent, and they have their own specifics also, not only in the way of the value we provide to our stakeholders, but with other logistical details. For example, if we talk about enabler for all those 3 products, they are different. If you take a look at duration, it looks almost the same. We have from 6 to 12 weeks for Global Volunteer and Global Entrepreneur, and for Global Talent we have from 6 to 78 weeks are even optional. In terms of payment, you know that Global Volunteer is not paid volunteering project. Global Entrepreneur is not paid, but accommodation provided, usually by our stakeholders who pay for this or host intern in their flats or houses. And for Global Talent, accommodation is paid, and usually it's included in the salary of the person. That person is in charge of finding accommodation with help of ISEC. So we also support with finding this potential place for stay. In terms of primary purpose of the products, they also vary a little bit. We say that Global Volunteer is mostly present there to make social impact. Global Entrepreneur and Global Talent are focused on providing professional experiences for young people. Cool. So those are the basics of our products' value propositions, and those are the basics you should know before starting contacting your prospects and before starting calling and emailing your leads. Those are the basic details you should be able to explain. Plus, to this, don't forget about our proposals, which we have for global volunteer, global interpreter, and global talent, which have all the details you need to know while presenting those products to companies. So learn value propositions booklets, learn the proposals, and you will be able to answer every possible question and not be afraid of calling to different stakeholders. What we will do next is exactly that part which we talked about in the beginning, putting value propositions in the practice. So the tool we will use right now is Value Proposition Canvas, and this is the model which helps us to connect how the products we have are impacting or how they are connected to needs, jobs, and pains of our customers. I will explain it quickly segment by segment, starting with our customer profile. So it has 3 segments as you see here: gains, customer jobs, and pains. When we talk about customer jobs, first of all, we say what are the daily things that our customer needs to make happen. Let's say he needs to increase his marketing social media presence. When we talk about gains, we talk about specific benefits he wants to achieve by having those jobs done. And when we talk about pains, those are the obstacles for them to have those gains and for them to make it happen. When we talk about value proposition map, we have here our products and services, which is basically what we offer. So interns who are marketing profiles or sales profiles and so on. Game creators would be the useful things and useful jobs they will do to satisfy the needs of the customer. And pain relievers would be something that could overlap the pains of our customer and make them less painful. And the exercise we will actually do right now is I will ask you to stop this video to Google Value Proposition Canvas picture. You can print it out or you can also draw it on the piece of paper. It's super simple. And just pick the product you're working with. It can be IG, IGV, or IGT, and write down the things that are relevant for your product. So write down your customer profile based on those 3 segments and the value proposition of your products. You may use 5 or 10 minutes to make it happen. And we are back from this amazing exercise, and now guys will present you what did they come up with for each of the products. So Olga will start with our gains and gain creators for Global Volunteer.
So as one example, I decided to use actually like gain that all of the organizations that we're working with for Global Volunteers, being farms and NGOs, they want to promote either like zero waste or like less food waste way of living or organic farming as such. And what we actually provide them so that we create a game for them, we are providing the intern who would come to their place with already like sharing the mindset of reducing, for example, food waste. And those people are gonna also promote this inside of Austria. And since the internationals, the interest for them will rise more. So yeah.
Thank you. Gutra will tell us about customer jobs and products and services for GE.
Okay, so for GE, customer jobs is basically everything that the startup does. So from marketing to sales, social media, their own value delivery, so whatever the startup is actually providing, to in the end achieve the growth of their startup, whatever their vision is, and also to make a profit. The products and services that we provide are basically GE. More specifically in Austria, it is Empower Austria with our 4 profiles. So marketing, sales, internationalization, and business administration.
Exactly. Thank you, Gunter. And we will wrap it up with Teddy covering our pains and pain relievers for Global Talent.
Yes, for Global Talent, the main pains of the company is that it is hard to hire globally. It is difficult for them to reach global markets, and at the same time, they might lack diversity in their workplace. So, for this reason, the pain relievers that we have is that ISEC provides logistic support with the documents, the visa, and work permits, and everything. It allows the company to hire people from all over the world, and which would help this company reach foreign markets. But at the same time, it also allows them to have a more diverse workplace.
Thank you. I do suggest you to do this exercise It can specifically help you to break it down for yourself how our products are being useful for our customers, and it will help you to shape your sales pitch better. And now we will move a little bit into our sales process, so how we market those products, how we do communicate them to our partners. But for that, I will switch to the screen recording. To better understand how our products are being marketed and connected towards our customers, I will guide you through the ICX processes flow. So first of all, we are connected to our customers through our two main platforms, which are Youth Opportunity Platform and Partners Opportunity Platform. You can see the links to them. I encourage you to go check them out, and they are pretty self-explanatory. So you can basically sign up either as young person or as an organization and create opportunity or apply to opportunities abroad. This also displays that in the way we work with both of those stakeholders. So our main consumers are young people, and our partners or opportunity providers are considered as producers, so the ones who create opportunities for those young people. It's also described in our two-sided customer flow, in which you can see that certain stages of the customer flow are interconnected based on communication of our partners with young people. So you can clearly see that on the stages of consideration, preparation, and of course experience, they are in direct connection. So to make sure that we run the customer flows smoothly, we have internal processes which are called standard operating procedures, and it can be easier explained on the example of McDonald's, because McDonald's also has those, and let's say to experience the same burger in USA and in Austria, you need to have some standardized processes. That's what we also do in ISEC, to make sure that every young person going on exchange is going through the same experience in different countries. Here are the links for each of those for each product, so Global Volunteer, Global Entrepreneur, and Global Talent. You can also go through them. Those are the ones provided by ISEC International, so they are used globally. And also, they look like this, so you can see that you have topic, activities, who is responsible for those activities, and description. And also we have our national standard operating procedures, which are more tailored for our Austrian realities. And as a last thing you might do after watching this video, I suggest you to pick a stakeholder, and based on the type of stakeholder, it can be either school or startup or company or farm, try to pitch a suitable product. Practice with your friends, practice with your teammates. Just make sure that you are using the value propositions we have discussed early in the video, and you know how to connect them to needs, pains, and jobs of the customer. That's it for today. Thanks a lot. See you tomorrow at workshop number 3, Sales Advanced.